Now to more developing news tonight. The multi-agency search for a man police believe shot an officer out of McBee last night is now over.
27-year-old Alston Modlin was shot and killed earlier this morning in Lee County following a deputy-involved shooting. That's about 30 miles from McBee. Modlin was wanted for shooting an officer during a traffic stop at about 11 p.m. WIS reporter Ashley Jones has been on this story since early this morning and joins us live now near the scene. Ashley, what new details can you share about this investigation?
Well, Judy and Hannah, this was just a very tragic end to that manhunt that began out in McBee, South Carolina, but it ended here off of Ashland Stokes Bridge Road here in Lee County. The investigation is still unfolding right here behind me. I mean, a lot of deputies have left the scene since you last saw me and since you first saw me at noon. But what we know so far, a lot of these new details are coming from Lee County Sheriff Daniel Simon. He told me the moments leading up to Modlin's death were scary. Sheriff Simon said Modlin went on a shooting spree attempting to hit deputies, and in the midst of that shooting, Sheriff Simon said in an ambush attack, Modlin injured a deputy and a K-9 was killed. We're learning that K-9's name was Mecca. Sheriff Simon says Mecca died after a patrol car she was sitting in caught fire during that ambush attack. I'm going to walk you through the timeline of how this all unfolded. Around 11 o'clock last night in Chesterfield County, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division says Modlin shot a deputy during a traffic stop. This morning around 8, SLED issued a national alert for him, telling people to be on the lookout for his 2013 Toyota Tacoma. 2 hours later, Modlin was spotted here in Hartsville, Lee County. That was around 10 this morning. Now, when he got into the standoff with Lee County deputies, law enforcement has not confirmed exactly how Modlin died, but a source close to this investigation tells me he was shot by deputies during that standoff. I spoke to a neighbor who lives near the scene, and he told me Modlin actually came to his back door knocking after being shot.
The time as I got to the back door and look around out the windows and see who was out there, and he was gone. And then the police come and told me I had to leave for a minute. Something happened. And I went down probably about 2 or 3 miles down the street and sat till everything was over. And they called me and told me that he had got shot and killed out there in the field out there at the tent there.
Also over in that field?
Yeah, he laying out there.
So that neighbor tells me he believes that Modlin was coming to his home looking for some sort of help after he was shot. He later ran off into that cornfield just near his home and died there. Now, again, there is still an ongoing investigation that's happening now. I'm told that deputy from Lee County is expected to be okay. The sheriff just arrived back out here on the scene. He is about to talk to us, and we'll have much more from him coming up at 7. But for now, reporting live here in Lee County, I'm Ashley Jones, WIS News 10.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Continuing our team coverage tonight, it all started in McBee. That is where SLED says that a McBee police officer was shot while trying to make a traffic stop.
WIS spoke to the sister of the officer who was shot. She identified him as Jeriel Wright and says he is recovering tonight. SLED, however, has not confirmed his identity.
WIS reporter Naomi Popa is speaking with people who live in that part of McBee. Naomi, I'm sure they were shocked by the turn of events there late last night and this morning.
It all started here in the town of McBee off 11th Street in Chesterfield County. That a McBee officer was the victim of a shooting that happened Thursday night around 11. One resident that lives in the area tells me this was bound to happen. Gregory Rogers lives just one street over from where the shooting took place. He told me it was so loud he thought it happened in his front yard.
I heard 1 or 2 shots, and then I heard the rapid fire. I said, that's gunfire. It was kind of in a distance, but it sounded close. So I was a little concerned. I didn't know exactly what was going on at the time.
According to investigators, they began searching for 27-year-old Alston Modlin after a McBee police officer was shot during a traffic stop. But Rogers is convinced more than one shot was fired that night.
Shooting that many rounds, that could have went in anybody's home. Just grace of God. So yes, it's very concerning, and even more concerning that it's so close to the school.
Rogers tells me he is a part of a McBee community group, and safety concerns have been heavily voiced in recent years. He says this area is known as a speed trap, and officers often pull people over at any time, day or night.
We've said that this was bound to happen, so we've had the expectation that it would happen, and we are concerned. As a community, we are concerned. Under the current leadership and what we're doing with our police officers, it's very concerning.
SLED is investigating this shooting. We'll be sure to keep you updated with more information as we learn it on air and online at WISTV.com. But for now, reporting in McBee, I'm Naomi Popa, WIS News 10.
Well, this is the 33rd officer-involved shooting in the state of South Carolina this year alone.